joining us this morning. Thank you so much for getting on this webinar. What I want to do this morning is just take the time to introduce myself. There are a lot of you on this morning. I'm really glad to know that I sent out and reached out to a few SDs that I know, and they seem to be online, and also sent out re-invites to some of the ones that were on the previous webinars that we had. So thank you so much for joining us this morning. What I want to do is also ask you whether or not if you are or have been able to get the emails from the previous webinars. We've had several, and we just want to make sure that everybody that wants to be involved is able to be. So I do have a little housekeeping work in the process in this presentation. But for those of you that don't know me, my name is Cheryl Matthews. I am the Director of Education for Bion Research and Skincare. I am an esthetician. I am a makeup artist. I am a reflexologist. I work nationally and internationally. I have almost 30 years experience in this field, and I love it. I think it is one of the most dynamic fields that we can work in and be a part of. We have an opportunity at all times to be able to affect change with people. And we know that with makeup, with fashion, all of those things evolve. Well, so does the area of skincare. And what we want to make sure is that each and every time we give you some education, you leave more empowered, you have questions that you ask, you have questions that are answered, and you're giving an opportunity to grow your business. So that's our whole purpose for allowing you and for allowing us the opportunity to have this opportunity to chat back and forth, which is why we chose this medium to be able to reach more people. I see someone saying, please send emails. Yes, I will. If you want to, you'll have an opportunity to get my personal email at the end, which is cherylmatthews@bionresearch.com. I did reach out to some, and I see a lot of those names are jumping into the chat room, and that's wonderful. For those of you that I don't have, go ahead and send it to me. You'll get that information at the end. And what I want to do this morning is talk to you a little bit about rosacea. And the reason why I entitled this class, That's Not Blush, That's Rosacea, is that in my experience, and I have been a salon owner, as many of you are or would like to be, I had a salon and spa in the Marriott here in Marina del Rey, California. We were there for 7 years. So it gave me an opportunity to really expand my horizons as far as working with clientele. We ended up with a very global clientele, people from all countries, all walks of life, all ethnicities, all cultures, and it kind of really gave us a unique opportunity to provide services and to provide services at a very high level, but also services that crossed the normal cross-section, if you will, of working within a community. Sometimes when you open and you work within a certain community, it limits the type of clientele or maybe the options that you have for expanding your business because you're doing very basic services. One of the nice things about Bion is that it allows you to specialize. You can specialize in dealing with anti-aging. You can specialize in working with acne. You can specialize in working with rosacea. So that is one of the reasons why we went ahead and I thought it was important that we share this information with you. So without any further ado, we will get started. Class is now in session. That is my punchline. That gets us going and lets you know that we're about to really engage and learn some things. We've got Larry and Krista in our chat room. If you have any questions while I'm going through my presentation, there are a lot of slides. If there's any information that has either gotten by you or something that you'd like to ask, please feel free to jump into the chat room, ask the question. We'll say the question out loud, which is fabulous because we do have a lot of people with this medium that are able to listen in. So you can listen on your mobile devices. You can download Click Webinar to your mobile device and listen. So a lot of you are on iPads, some are on computers, but we also have a lot of people that join in with us and that are in on their cell phones. So a lot of the information that you are maybe seeing, I am repeating for those that are not looking at a screen. All right, so here we go. That's not blush, that's rosacea. Our agenda today, we're going to talk about rosacea. We're going to talk about some of the causes, the effects, the complications, how Bion treats rosacea, and we'll have Q&A or questions and answers. You can jump in at any time and ask questions. You don't have to wait till the very end. So please know that, okay? What is rosacea? Rosacea is a very common skin disease caused by the dilation of blood vessels just under the surface of the skin. It is characterized by 3 stages. We have stage 1, which is that redness or flushing that you will see. Stage 2, which is the acne on the cheeks, the chin, and the forehead. And stage 3, which a lot of times people really don't understand, and that is when you'll see that enlarged or bulbous part of the nose or the chin. For about 4% of people with genetically pigmented skin, such as myself, rosacea appears with that yellowish brown instead of that red skin, which makes it even harder to detect and easy to misdiagnose or to mistreat. If you're able to see the picture, there is a picture of a young lady. It looks like she has blush on her cheeks, and that was one of the reasons why I entitled this the way I did. I really realized that a lot of times people will see someone and think that they're flushing from embarrassment, but we need to really understand that this is a true condition, and it's a condition that is shared by many people. Our own Larry Lockhart, who is the owner of Bion Research, this is a condition that he struggles with. And he will probably jump in here off and on during this presentation to give some tidbits and information about how he treats and how he controls it. Again, I was talking about rosacea on pigmented skin, and as you can see, this is a woman of color. She has pigmentation in her skin, and with that, you'll notice across that same area, you see that reddish brown, that ruddiness across her cheeks, across her nose, across all the way across her cheeks, and even on her chin. You can tell that her skin has been compromised. My question to you is, are you missing it? Are you missing the fact that it is rosacea? You can see here from the diagram here, the little picture, that this diagram shows the rosacea on the cheeks, on the nose, on the forehead, and on the chin. A lot of times your clients may present, and they may present with acne or what you perceive to be acne. Maybe they perceive it to be acne. It could be a rash or dermatitis. It could be seborrheic dermatitis, which is when you see people and it looks like they have dandruff in their eyebrows, maybe along their lash line, and even on their face. You might misdiagnose it or mistreat it because of the age of the person. A lot of times we may think that someone very young may be experiencing it, but typically rosacea seems to be over 30. People with the age of 30 and above seem to be more inclined to have it. Not to discount that it could happen younger, but they are noticing that it is the over 30 part. Under 30, a lot of times it is acne. So you want to make sure that you're taking a look at all of these different things when you're doing your consultation. Your hormonal acne is also another misnomer, and it may appear on different parts of the face, but you may call it rosacea without really understanding that it's a different condition. You have an allergic reaction to sometimes ingredients within products. A lot of times if you question or you think that one of your clients may be having or experiencing rosacea, you may have them to bring in all of the products that they use. A lot of times some of the products may have an ingredient that may cause an allergic reaction for their skin, which a lot of times they don't know. They don't know that there may be a certain ingredient that may sensitize or irritate their skin. Also, you should know that rosacea involves a lot of times the neck and the chest area. So it's not just limited to the face. And again, you really want to be, especially if you're working with global skin tones with pigmentation, you want to be aware of the fact that they also can have rosacea. What causes rosacea? This is still up in the air. There's no firm and concrete information about it. They are evaluating more and more and more. So far, they think that it may be genetics. Lighter skin tones seem to really experience a problem with it. It could be blood flow, which you see that vascular condition with the skin right across those areas that we've referenced. It could be, and they're looking at microscopic mites of the genus Demodex is how they pronounce that. It's a little tiny mite that exists generally right up under the surface of the skin. They don't think that is anything like you know, you don't look at your face and see little bugs or anything. But under a microscope, you are able to see this very small, almost like a dust mite. We don't see them, but we know they exist. Same thing with skin, and they're looking at the fact that the dust mite or this microscopic mite um, and the bacteria that it creates could also be a cause. We know that sun damage of connective tissue is involved in rosacea, immune and inflammatory responses of the skin, environmental factors. You know, we look at our pollution, all the things that our skin are to, the winter weather here in the States, and I know a lot of you are coming to us internationally. Here in the States, we are having a big blast of winter storms that are hitting our eastern seaboard. And with that, lots and lots of snow, which means lots of people are stuck inside, running heaters, in the dry air, and they're going to have a lot of problems dealing with rosacea and other skin conditions, which is an opportunity for those of you that are in the field in those areas to really be able to provide some comfort and some services. Then you have chemical exposure. A lot of times people work in environments where they are exposed to types of chemicals, whether it's in a pharmacy environment, whether it's in a printing, or even for cosmetologists, because of the simple fact they're exposed to so much chemicals with hair treatment services and different things. So you have to kind of consider all of those things when you're looking at a client with rosacea. Who is affected by rosacea? You may think that it's a very limited number of people, but the National Rosacea Society, and there is a National Rosacea Society here in the United States, is called the N like Nancy, R like Robert, S like Service, or National Rosacea Society, which was founded in 1992 when it was thought that perhaps 200,000 people were affected by rosacea. That number is now up to 45 million. 45 million people are affected by this skin condition. Each year, more than 800,000 people with rosacea access the educational services provided by the NRS. The NRS also conducts awareness activities that reach out to 400 million people annually. And this source is actually from the National Rosacea Society. So if you're wanting more information, you might make sure go on their website. There's plenty of information out there on skin conditions and different things, but it is incumbent upon us as the experts to know where to go, where we can send our clients, and to pull this kind of information together so that we are able to better service our clients' needs. Rosacea complications. Now you can look and see, for those of you that are not able to see, I'm showing slides of rhinophyma. And rhinophyma occurs when those sebaceous glands on the nose expand slowly, causing the tissue to build up on and around the nose, giving that orange peel effect or that orange peel texture, and leading to that bulbous nose. If you, my mind goes to like W.C. Fields had that very bulby nose, but it also can be very disfiguring. A lot of times you'll see people and their nose has been disfigured by the tissue. It looks like maybe they have fibroids or cysts on their nose. And a lot of times this is a condition and a complication from rosacea, very severe stage 3 rosacea. Also, you may not know that there is such a thing as ocular rosacea. And in the photo that a lot of you may not be able to see, there is a lady who is very, very red. The redness around her eyes, on her cheeks, under her nose, on her nose, and you can look at the up close picture where you can see that it has gone and spread into the eye. Very, very painful. It burns, it stings, and it's not a condition that you want to play around with. Possible rosacea triggers, and a lot of times people don't know that there are certain foods. They think that maybe it is just the sun, but it can be from excessive alcohol consumption. It can be from spicy foods, certain fruits and vegetables. You might find that if you're working with a client and you start to work with them with their diet, they might find that there's certain spices or certain fruits and vegetables that whenever they have it, they get that flare up. It could be from marinated meats, from dairy products, and we're talking about the way foods are processed. And we're talking about foods that may not be organic, that have pesticides, that have antibiotics, different things in the food that the body is reacting to. Unprotected sun exposure of the skin and the eyes, as you saw. Not only does it affect the skin, it affects the eyes. So it's one thing to make sure that we are making sure our clients have that sun protection. Vigorous exercise. Sometimes after extreme exercise, or maybe you really have a good workout session and you notice, okay, I'm a little flush, but then you notice that flushness doesn't go away. You might notice that during that time, emotional stress. That's another trigger. Emotionally, when things are going on within our system, our body reacts. And as a reaction, the skin, which is an organ, reacts also. And then again, we're talking about the Demodex mite. All of these different triggers are things to consider, things to learn about, and items that you as an esthetician should know. The prognosis of rosacea. Rosacea is currently incurable, but it is manageable. The sooner that you're diagnosed and begin your treatment, the better the response. And continued treatments, even when it goes into remission, you want to continue to use the skincare therapies and the other treatment options to prevent a flare-up, or at least to lengthen the time between flare-ups. You'll find that if you're really, really staying on top of your treatments, the time between the flare-ups or the triggers will be longer. Current rosacea treatments, good? No, I said no, great skincare. You want great skincare. You want skincare that is very, very pure, very richly formulated for sensitive skin, because dryness is an effect, but you also want to make sure that you have ingredients that kill bacteria, because that is also a trigger for those mites and for your skin. Oral antibiotics like tetracycline, doxycycline, all the cyclines, all these oral antibiotics we're not fond of, but a lot of times when it has gone to a level or a place before your client comes to you, they might have started with antibiotics. And so if you're able to jump in with great skincare, you can give them a really, really awesome effect and treatment. And maybe they can come off of these antibiotics, which actually are not good for their skin or their body. Topical treatments, we have BP, where benzoyl peroxide, clindamycin, the azelaic acid. Another thing that we are not proponents of some of these items, especially benzoyl peroxide and the clindamycin. We're not really fond of those types of treatments on the skin. We try to really, really deal with conditions and things that are going on with the skin, whether it's anti-aging, whether it's plain acne, or whether it is rosacea. You want to really treat that skin gently, and these items are very, very aggressive. For those extreme stage 3 people with that rosacea, you might use the intense pulsed light therapy, the IPL, and the cosmetic surgery is one of the last resorts. And with all of these things, the one thing you always want to come back to and bring your client back to is great skincare. Okay, and Larry is typing in to me that Metro didn't Denad, oh, I can't even pronounce that, Larry. I'll write it out for everybody. Is a common dermatologist prescription. I can't make my mouth pronounce that one for you all this morning. But there are many, many prescriptions out there that are being given, and you really want to make sure that your clients are aware that a lot of times these antibiotics and topical treatments are not healthy for their skin. And I see Krista is typing now, and let me see what she says. Okay, well, it's taking a minute to come through, so we're going to go on to our next slide. I'll backtrack and go through that. We want to talk a little bit how Bion treats rosacea. We use 3 steps, and in our steps, we really use quality, gentle, scientifically proven ingredients. Krista is jumping in and saying, Isa. Hi, Isa. That is called Metrogel, that word that I couldn't pronounce that Larry this long. Metrogel is the name that you would hear over the counter or from a prescription standpoint. So thank you, Isa, for that very much. We cleanse to prevent the buildup of bacteria and bacterial lipases and flare-ups. So cleansing is extremely important are dealing with rosacea or any kind of acneic or skin condition. You want to treat to keep those follicles clear of bacteria, exfoliate for cell turnover, and smoother skin surface. Those are the things that help to make sure that you don't get that buildup of the tissue on the nose particularly, and on the chin. You want to make sure that you moisturize or you hydrate to repair the lipid barrier function and to protect the skin. Those 3 things are very important, and these are steps that Bion uses with each of their protocols. Cleanse, treat, moisturize or hydrate, and protect. Let's see, Krista is saying, in her humble opinion, anti-inflammatories are more important than antibacterial, which is all the dermatologists focus on. We need both to control rosacea. Absolutely correct, which is what we'll go through a little bit with our ingredients. If you know or have worked with anyone with rosacea, you'll notice that those are things of great concern. At this moment, let me see, I think maybe what I'll do is I'll pop in and maybe pull up a poll and see what you guys think about some things. In our rosacea, I have a couple questions for you, and you guys can answer these and we'll shut it down. We're wanting to know what day is the best days for webinars. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or another day. How many of you have or treat rosacea clients? That's the second question. Would you like text message reminders? We were thinking that that might be a really good way since everyone is always connected to their phones. And the last question would be, what is the best time for webinars? And if you're going to choose another time, maybe send me out an email and let me know if there's a better time that would work for you, because we want to make sure that all of you have an opportunity to jump in and benefit from what we're doing, because this is set up for you. So we appreciate that. We're going to go ahead and let that roll for a couple more seconds so that everyone has an opportunity to jump in. Right now we're looking for the best days. It looks like Mondays are the best days. Goodness, 70% of you look like you are treating rosacea. That's awesome. I'm so far up to 70% with like text message reminders. That is great. And the best time seems to be our 10 o'clock hour. So we're going to see about making some adjustments so more of you can jump on and engage with us with our webinars. And you also want to know and be aware that we also have many of them now put up on our YouTube channel. So you can go in and take a look that way also. And I'll make that reminder at the end. We're trying to do a couple other things for you all. Let's see, we're almost done here with our voting, so we're going to end that. Thank you so much for participating with that. We'll go back to our presentation. We want to make sure that that you all are getting the best opportunity to partake of our education. We also want you to know that we appreciate you joining in with us, and we've come up with a little something for you. It is a certificate of participation for your time that you've taken. So for each of the webinars that you've been on or will be on, we will email you out a certificate. So you'll look for that email soon after our webinars, within a day, because I looked and there's quite a few of you for me to make them for. And that's not a problem. We were going to send them out, but we realized we have a lot of you that are overseas, and we thought it was unfair that you would not probably get yours for a very long time, whereas if we email it, you can just print it out and you have it right there. And they're going to be really nice, so you can have them to put up in your treatment rooms. And I think that's an excellent way for your clients to know that you are staying engaged, that you're staying current, and that you're able to assist them with certain conditions. Just so you know, for those of you that are not familiar, Bion uses no benzoyl peroxide, no parabens, no mineral oil, no sodium lauryl sulfate, that's your SLS, or your sodium lauryl sulfate, that's your SLES. A lot of you might know those initials. No triclosan, no hydroquinone, no lanolin. We don't use nanotechnology, we use microtechnology, and we don't use fragrances. We use essential oils and natural fragrances and colors. So you just want to be sure, especially when dealing with rosacea, that you're using products that are as pure and as desensitizing as possible. And a lot of these items that a lot of companies use are very irritating to rosacea conditions and skin. We're going to talk a little bit about step one. Our step one is to clean. We want to clean, but we want to clean gently. Our bacteria stat cleanser kind of goes back to what Krista was saying about anti-inflammatories and antibacterial. To control that lipasis, we want to control that inflammation. So with this bacteria stat cleanser, it is gentle, it is non-irritating. It controls bacteria and that acne-promoting lipasis. It has turmeric in it, which is anti-inflammatory and blocks the actions of the 5-alpha reductase, which is one of the body's mechanisms that creates bacteria. Your wild marjoram extract is antibacterial, antifungal, anti-inflammatory, and antioxidant. All of those properties help to calm and soothe that rosacea skin. For those of you that are professionals, and I do realize that where everything's on Facebook and you share information, we may have some that are not professionals, so the lactic acid exfoliator would not be for you, but it is for those that are professionals. It is a natural component of human cells, which makes it safer and less allergenic for sensitive or dry skin, and a lot of times both of those conditions exist with rosacea clients. It stimulates the production of collagen and elastin, provides gentle, and the word and the key word with rosacea is gentle exfoliation. It increases that cell turnover, and that can help smooth out those large pores, acne scars, and that really leathery orange peel skin that you'll see across the nose and chin that makes that excess, that bulbous and that very, very looks almost like small tumors under the skin condition. And it also gently reduces wrinkles and age spots, so it helps to keep that skin clear. For their at-home use, you can use the hydrating jelly mask. I really like this mask. I like it even if you're not treating rosacea. It's a very good one to keep on hand in your treatment room because it provides immediate hydration and anti-inflammatory benefits. So after you've done maybe extractions or some other ablative services, even if you're doing microdermabrasion or some of the other irritating services, it will immediately calm that skin. It helps to reestablish the lipid barrier, which promotes the healing, which is very important with rosacea clients. The therapeutic amino acid action promotes healing. and that skin is very, very compromised and needs to be healed and tended to. You can leave it on or you can rinse it off. But the one thing you don't want to do with it is steam it. You don't want to use steam on clients with rosacea. That steam is an irritant. And I know everybody likes how that steam feels all warm on their face, but for clients that are really sensitive, you want to really be careful and mindful using a lot of steam. You want to remember, cool is better. Cooling, desensitizing, you just want to remember that everything that you do, you want that skin to be soothed and to be comforted, and for them to know that what you're doing, you're in control of what's happening with them. We have our green tea clay poultice. That is professional and home care. The Montmorillonite clay helps to pull that infection up and out of the skin. It blocks the action of the 5-alpha reductase, which we spoke about. It is anti-inflammatory and reduces irritation. Has a 0.1% salicylic acid. That kind of helps to soothe and to renourish that skin. That salicylic is very important in retexturizing also. So this clay is an amazing clay. You can use it for bug bites. You can use it for stings. You can use it for a lot of different things. So it's one also that you want to keep in your arsenal. We have our follicle clearing lotion, which is a home care treatment for your clients. It is a gentle formula. It is great on regular acne, but it is also excellent for rosacea or acne rosacea. It helps to keep those follicles clear by controlling that P. acnes and other undesirable bacteria, and they're promoting acne promoting lipases. You keep hearing these words, so start to understand and know what these words mean and what they do. It is anti-inflammatory, and the benefits to that, again, is to soothe and keep that skin from being so sensitized. It is a 0.1% glycolic acid, 0.5% salicylic acid, and it has a pH of 3.3%. And that was important for me to let you know. You can go on our website, and for all of our products, you can see all of the pHs. Step 3 is your moisturizing or your protecting module. And what you want to do with this, with our moisture complex, this enriched concentration contains lecithin, essential fatty acids, and that helps to assist in reestablishing the skin's lipid barrier function, which is very, very important for that compromised skin. Those powerful antioxidant ingredients, they reduce that free radical activity. It promotes which promotes acne and that redness and that inflammation. So again, you're working to calm, soothe, and kill bacteria in that skin. Sometimes, especially when the weather is such that it is, or you might notice that your client has that dry, flaky, or excessively dry skin. Like I say, with the winter months and the heaters running and the conditions inside, you might need more serious moisture retention of hyaluronic acid. And this product, the Ultra Moisture Renewal, contains that ginseng, hyaluronic acid. It helps the immune system. It repairs and stimulates that boost of lipids, phospholipids, and the like that we need, especially in winter conditions. And again, very good, very mild. And the main step that I think for helping your clients with their rosacea is to make sure that they are wearing sunscreen. A lot of times, especially like I say, for pigmented skins or people of color, they a lot of times will not use a sunscreen because the white cast, or I'd say the blue cast that would happen to the skin. Our titanium dioxide sunscreen is an SPF 35. I believe that they recommend at least a 30, so you're getting a little boost here. It is broad spectrum UVA and UVB, so you've got the protection for both types of sun damage. It's a physical sun protection with maximum antioxidant and anti-carcinogenic benefits. When we say physical, that means that it doesn't contain a lot of the chemicals that are irritants to the skin. The titanium dioxide and the zinc oxide are highly micronized, not nano, but micro, to cover gently and evenly on the skin. And the formula is non-greasy, and it doesn't leave a white cast to the skin, which is really important, especially, for your clients that may want to put on makeup. You don't want that blue or that white cast to come through their makeup. But it gives a really, really nice texture to the skin, and it's a nice finish for a rosacea client, and also for them to keep and take with them when they're out in their travels, or even in the car. I keep a tube in the car. For your clients' use, we have an acne control kit. And I believe that if you're going to start, or you're working with your acne clients, especially with rosacea, you want to get this kit in their hands. This is one of the things that with the items that are inside, they're able to use it on a daily basis. They use 3 products to treat and to control. The acne kit also contains the moisture complex, so it does have 4 items in there, but it does not have the titanium dioxide sunscreen. So that would be an item that they'd have to purchase. I believe, and what I did with this, or what I will do if I have a client to come in, is in their first facial, when I do their, I'm looking, Isa's typing here, when I do their first facial, I will put the cost of this kit within their facial price. And so at the end of the facial, I give this kit to them, and that gives them an opportunity to start their home care immediately. And when they come back to you within the 30 days, at that point in time, they can get the retail sizes, or they can purchase another kit if they decide to. These are great for travel. They can take them to the gym. So it makes it a really, really nice, nice thing. And as a matter of fact, let me see, I think I did. This is the kit. This gets weird when you're looking at yourself backwards. This is the kit. There are 4 items inside, so you know it's not anything that's going to be big and obtrusive. They're able to take it, like I said, you can travel with it, you can take it to the gym, makes it really, really nice. And again, it does not include your titanium dioxide. Isa's saying, not a good idea to keep sunscreens in the car. The heat in the car breaks down the screen properties, at least in Miami, where we get so much sun and heat. Yes and no, because a lot of times I personally would rather have something. I mean, I keep it in my purse, but I do keep one in my car because I have been caught out when there was no sun, kind of like today, and all of a sudden the sun breaks through, and it wasn't nice. I ended up with a burn on my face and on my chest. So I'd rather have something that's broken down a little bit than to have nothing. So I agree with you, Isa, but a lot of times people will go to the beach, or they'll leave out and they will not use sunscreen, or they'll get out and they're out for more than that hour, and it's time to replenish that sunscreen. Also, don't be afraid and forget to put sunscreen on the tops of your hands, because when you're driving and you're holding the steering wheel, or on your arms, especially the arm on the side of the window, you'll notice that that arm and that hand may be quite a bit more tan than the other hand and arm. So you do want to be mindful of that. But great point, Isa. Thank you. Okay, Lillian's going to try to make me say that word that Larry gave me, and she gave me the pronunciation, metronidazole, and it still doesn't sound right. So Metrogel, much, much easier. But thank you, Lillian. Thanks for looking that up. I love you guys in the chat room. Okay, so what we want to do, we want you to use Bion's education to grow your success. The questions that you're asking, I love that. I think that having you all being able to interact, for those of you that are not able to meet us at a class, or that we haven't come and done a class for you, maybe that's a question that that I'll pose the next time, or you guys can email me and let me know whether or not you'd be interested in hands-on education. To come to your location, or either to your location, to your city, to your region, where maybe we can set up and do some classes in the hotel. We are going to offer some advanced level education. We're going to go in and deal with peels. We're going to talk about that microneedling and offer those classes. And I do believe those classes are hands-on classes. Those aren't classes or anything that you can teach simply by giving the information online. If you have any ideas about any classes that you would like, please, please, please let us know. We're, like I said, we're structuring and trying to give more and more information to help you to grow your business and to grow personally. I always think education is power. For those of you that are professional, we do have a professional only web pages. Those pages you can only access with a code. You would get that code from the office. And at that point in time, um, they can give you the code. I'm looking in the chat room here. So is the acne kit what you recommend for rosacea? Yes, I said that acne kit is actually, it says on there that it's for dry, sensitive, or acne rosacea skin. Let me see if I can get it back in the shot here. Okay, there you go. I don't know if you can see that, but it does say dry, sensitive, or acne rosacea skin, and that makes it very, very nice. Larry is saying if a client is taking oral antibiotics and using Metrogel from the physician, they should still use Bacteriostat cleanser and the topical moisturizer, such as Moisture Complex. Yes, yes, yes. As I said, even if they're having that intervention from a physician, I think that it's of the utmost importance that they utilize a skincare routine that is going to be complementary to that service. The topical or the oral antibiotics that they may be utilizing is going to sensitize that skin. So they really, really want to treat it gently. They want to treat it gently with their cleanser. They want it treated with something that's really good for sensitivity to treat that skin, because that skin is still going to react. You also want to make sure that the moisturizer that you use product is very sensitive, is very good for sensitive skin. The ingredients are very calming and soothing and very moisturizing. Again, that skin a lot of times will get very flaky. It will get very dry, and with that dryness, for those of you that have been in the industry a while, you know that anytime you have an experience a client with dry skin, the dry skin takes in your ingredients much faster than a skin that is well hydrated. So in that case, you end up sometimes with more sensitivity if that skin is excessively dry. So you really want to make sure that the ingredients that you're putting on are extremely sensitive and very moisturizing. We do have two acne kits. One is for the dry skin and rosacea. The other is for oily and normal skin. Since we were talking about rosacea, that's the kit that I wanted to show you. But we do offer two acne kits and one anti-aging kit. And again, lay people, those of you who are not professionals and licensed, you can go in and look at the Bion website. You can look at the ingredients. You can look at the products that are available. You can also take a look and see whether or not there's someone in your area that is using Bion products, so that you have access to the product line. And if you know someone that you'd like to have our products, get them in touch with us. Feel free to go ahead and email and contact other estheticians about our education. It's open to anyone. And let's see, Krista says here they can be weaned off of the Metrogel using the follicle cleansing lotion in the morning, followed by the green tea clay poultice if they have papulopustular rosacea. Again, it goes back to being able to use the three-step treatment. You want to cleanse, you want to treat, and you want to protect or moisturize. So those are the steps that you want to use. So yes, in dealing with, as I say, with oh, and she's saying, and using the Metrogel in the evening. Thank you, Krista. I don't have a lot of clients that are on antibiotic, topical or oral antibiotics with their skincare. I am a real proponent for trying to let the body do everything that it can. But once you get, or you realize that you are outside your scope of practice, or the information that you are able to give to benefit your client, please make sure you make a proper referral to a dermatologist. A lot of times you'll get and find that someone will continue to work on someone. I had someone come to me and they said they had been trying to treat someone with melasma for like 6 months, and everything they were doing was of to no avail. I did point her in another direction, but I also had her to recommend that that person see a dermatologist and come back to her with that information that was shared there. Um, I'm looking, Isa is typing. Hey, Isa. Rosacea with oily skin then should use the oily skin kit, I suppose, or better to use the dry skin one. No, you want to make sure that if the skin is oily, you want to make sure that you use the kit for oily skin. It has a little bit different cleanser, a little bit different treatment lotion inside. So yes, the dry skin one will add more moisture. The oily skin will give you less oil and more moisture in the form of like hyaluronic acids and things like that. And Krista is typing away. I want to talk to you a little bit about our professional evaluation kits. I want to make sure that you know Isa rhymes with, oh, Isa. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I hate mispronouncing people's names, so thank you very much for that. It's Isa, and I appreciate Isa in the chat room today. If you do have rosacea, Krista's suggesting that you stay with the dry and sensitive um, acne kits. But as you go through the products, you'll also see that you are able to utilize some of the other masks and things like that. Like I said, you have the choices of the Bacteriostat. We do have the antibacterial cleanser, the green tea clay poultice, but also I like the gel that we have, the hydrating jelly mask. You have options and choices. And a lot of times, if you're working with clients with rosacea, the one thing you really want to do, and sometimes when you don't know whether or not there's going to be a reaction, is to do a test. Do that spot test behind the ear or in the fold of the arm and see whether or not there's a reaction before you get started with the protocol. You want to make sure you do a thorough evaluation and consultation. That information will be key in how you're treating skin. When we did our global skincare webinar, I talked a little bit about that, and even going so far as to asking questions about the genetics or the ethnic factors within a client's history. A lot of times you can no longer tell by looking at someone what their familial history is. So those are questions that I think as an esthetician, you are responsible for asking. You want to treat that skin gently and avoid overstimulating the skin. You want to use calming ingredients. You want to be aware of the social implications of rosacea. Again, it goes back to people that are experiencing that severe redness across their face, or the bulbous nose, or the disfiguration of their nose or chin. Those things have social implications. It affects how they go to school, how they do their jobs, how they even interact with people on an interpersonal level. So you want to be aware of those things and be kind and encouraging when it comes to dealing with those things. And then again, know when to make a referral to a physician. Never, ever, ever be so headstrong about what we do that you're not able to make that recommendation, because sometimes it might need to start there and then circle back around to your being effective with a good skincare presentation and line. Right now, I want to open up and ask if you have any questions. We are here in the chat room. Larry's there, Krista's there, Isa is there. And so we're here. We want to make sure that we're answering your questions, that we're able to share any information that you might need. If you have any further questions or something that I might not have touched on, feel free to jump in and ask. If you have questions and you want to contact me later, that's absolutely fine. I appreciate that also. And we're hoping that as we go through these webinars and make these presentations to you, that you're getting something out of them. Now, as a new thing, I have my hat here, and hopefully I've got everybody's names in there. So as you are coming up with your questions, if you have any, I have a surprise for you. On top of your certificates that you get. I have my hat here, and I filled it with all of you all's names. And what we're going to do, because we really appreciate you staying with us, is to draw a name, and that person is going to get a gift from us. So I'm stirring, stirring, stirring. I'll close my eyes, and I am going to pull one name, and the person who will get our gift product will be Kimberly. Is it Abbes? Abbes? Kimberly, are you out there? If you are, you need to type something to me in the chat room so that I know you're there. Kimberly's typing. She's there. She's the winner. So we'll get Kimberly's information. Kimberly, I want you to email me and give me shipping information for you. And we want to thank you for hanging in there with us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And as you guys saw, I did that. And so you can see everybody's names were down in there. I don't think I missed anyone, unless maybe you signed up late. And if so, let me know. I think that's pretty awesome. This is my hat. So I've got my hat on now. That's the hat that I used. That is so cool. Okay, so let's see what else we can do. We've got people typing in questions now. So as they're typing, you are quite welcome. She's going to call later to place an order. Oh, great. Thank you, Isa. Congrats to Kimberly. She says, thank you for the good information. Oh, great class and great hat. You like that, huh? I like it too. I like it too. It was one that was given to me as a gift during the holidays. Oh, so maybe we'll start having buy on hats, huh? Oh, goodness. You guys are funny. I love you guys. Okay, so you know what I think? I think that you and our industry, we rock. We really want you all to have an awesome day. And if that doesn't work, try having an awesome day tomorrow. If there's any other questions, please, I'm watching the chat room. I'm not gonna log out just yet. Want to make sure that everybody has an opportunity. Thanks for all the kudos for the class. I'm glad you guys appreciate it. Want to make sure that, like I said, if I don't have your email information, send it to me. I'm going to go ahead and tell you that class is officially out of session, but we're going to go ahead and give you a little bit more information. My email address is CherylMatthews@bionresearch.com. I am going to be teaching an adult acne expertise class at the Chicago show. So if you're able to visit us at the Chicago Face and Body Show on March 21st through the 23rd, I would absolutely love to see you. It's always wonderful to put a face to the people that I see. Stephanie's asking about how she gets into the pro website. Stephanie, what you'll do is call the office and they'll give you that login. You'll have to give them some professional information. Maybe even your license number. I'm not sure. I suggested that they have you all email those. And for those of you that go to shows and everything, I always, always, always keep a copy of my license in my wallet, even if it's just a small one. You never know whether or not you're going to get a benefit of a discount at a store or something else. So I always keep a copy of my license with me. Let's see if there's anything else. You can follow us on Facebook. You can follow us on Twitter. We are starting to upload all of these webinars onto our YouTube channel. You can visit our Pinterest board and you can read our blog. Krista is making herself available, and you should know that Krista is available to answer questions, especially treatment questions. She's very knowledgeable. Krista McCowan is Krista McCowan, McCowen, at bionresearch.com. Krista is our director of social media information. She writes a lot of our articles, submits our products, and writes our articles to Day Spa and some of the other magazines. So you want to keep your eyes and ears peeled for her information. She's awesome. And Kimberly, she's so funny. She's like, yay! I say the same thing, yay, because I love this industry. If there's any other questions, I'm going to hang out for a few minutes just in case. So if there's any other questions, go ahead, log them in. Larry's still there. Krista's still there. My hat is still here. Um, let's see. I'm trying to make sure I tilt it right. How's that? I don't know. I love hats. I love hats. So let's see. Miss LaDonna is typing. Let's see what LaDonna has to say. Mean hat. Me too. I know, right? I love them. I do. Um, let's see. Are there any other questions that I can answer for you? We will have more webinars. We've done several. We have done an Acne 123. We've done one on wrinkles. We've done, let's see, what else have we done? I'm trying to think. I did do the global skincare one. We're going to put that one up again. They seem to have had some issues with recording, so we're going to go ahead and probably do that one very, very soon. Let's see. What is the minimum for an order? Larry's going to answer that for me because that I'm not sure of. Oh, he's saying, okay, for March 10th, our webinar will be how diet affects skin. And that goes back to some of what we've been talking about with diet and the problems that people have with rosacea. The webinars are accessible anytime, Stephanie. Yes, they are. Larry says that you have a minimum of 10 products or 10 bottles to order. That's your minimum. All of our webinars we try to do for 10 o'clock. So far, that seems to be the best time, and from all of you all's responses, that seems to be the best time. We usually do them on Tuesdays, but we started to intersperse and do the live ones on Monday and on Tuesday. You can access all of the webinars that were done in the YouTube channel, the Buy On YouTube channel, or you can hit my YouTube channel also. Let's see, what else have we got to say for you? Let's see if there's anything I'm missing, because I had a lot of stuff I wanted to share with you today with this. I really appreciate you guys hanging in there. You can call the office if you have any ordering questions. We do make it simple with very low minimums, but we try to offer you full service, good customer service. We try to answer your questions. And let's see, those certificates will be going out. I just want them to be very, very pretty. And I see that I'm losing myself here with my camera. There we go. Let's see. At the shows, we're going to be having postcards out so that you can know what classrooms we're in. Let's see. We're going to work on those text reminders, so if you don't mind texting me or texting or calling the office and giving them your mobile number so we can make sure that we include that, if you don't mind. And for anybody out there, if you think that this was of benefit to you or would be of benefit to any of your friends that are estheticians or having skincare challenges, go ahead and pass their information on, okay? We really appreciate it. Thank you all so very much for participating and being here today. I'm going to hold off for about another 45 seconds to see if we have any more questions. And without further ado, you see here Cheryl Matthews at Buy On Research, Krista McCowan at Buy On Research. You have our website, www.buyonresearch.com. For those of you who are listening, our phone number for the office is 1-877-715-2466. Look forward to seeing you guys at the Chicago Face and Body Show and a lot of our upcoming shows. So take a look at the calendar and see what's going to be most accessible for you. Thank you so much. I'm going to roll back here a little bit. Slides, just because I think you guys are awesome. Like I said, have an awesome day, and if that doesn't work, try it again tomorrow. All right. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.